Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on scientific and historical evidence. So those who do not want to face the truth, please do not continue on to watch this YouTube. So today I'd like to share with you the soul of ancient Wing Chun or USA Wing Chun technology is in the details. There should not be any assumption when it comes to the ancient Wing Chun or USA Wing Chun technology. The reason I'm sharing this today is because in the past few weeks, I have shared many videos on the USA Wing Chun technology, and many of our friends have watched it and also read my books on the USA Wing Chun technology. Now, many of our friends have contacted me because they do not be able to understand what I'm presenting or misunderstand what I'm presenting. So I have helped many friends to clear out many things. And today I like to share with you this video so that you be able to have a clear understanding on what I'm presenting. Because what I'm sharing with you today is based on the questions our friends has been asking me, and I clear it up for everybody individually. So with this video, everybody have the same informations. Now, we need to be careful. We need to know the differences between Wing Chun movie and Wing Chun martial art. That's the first thing. So what happened is today, many of our friends is thinking Wing Chun movie is Wing Chun martial arts of the ancient. No, Wing Chun movie today is never the ancient Wing Chun martial art or the United States of America Wing Chun technology. So these are Wing Chun movie, not ancient Wing Chun martial arts. Like in the movie, when people said Wing Chun is Tan Bong Fuk, showing all kinds of hand techniques, fighting in the plum flower pole, or having the chi power, yi power, mind power, internal power, those kind of stuff. Those are not ancient Wing Chun martial art or United States of America Wing Chun technology. This is just movie. We need to know that, because if we have the mindset of this thing, thinking this is martial art, we are in deep trouble. So what is martial arts? This is martial art. Let's go watch Zhang Weili and her fight. That is martial arts. That's not movies. So usually people thinking on this Wing Chun movies and then making claims saying that, oh, Wing Chun is for street. It is not for the ring. That's why Wing Chun cannot fight in the ring. Well, that is completely wrong. Whatever cannot apply in the ring will not applicable in the street. Why? In the ring, if one could not do it, could not have the speed and the momentum and the power and the endurance, forget about in the street. In the ring, one have rules to protect the fighters. If one do not have the speed, the power, the endurance, there are rules to protect one do not get seriously injured. In the street, if one don't have the power, the speed, the momentum, the endurance, then that means forget about it. One is looking for trouble. So please watch the Zhang Weili and her fight. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. To have a sense of reality of what is a martial arts. And for sure you'll find out that it never is Wing Chun movie like this. This type of style cannot last longer than seconds when you go up there versus the high intensity fighter. So we need to be clear on this. So whatever I'm going to share with you, one must not try to comprehend what I'm saying or understand what I'm presenting with this. One need to comprehend with this type of mentality, or else we are living in fantasy. Okay. Now we need to be careful. In ancient Wing Chun, Xiu Lim Tao means the essence of training details, meaning there's a lot of details one need to know and one need to be able to handle. And also, mind power or mindfulness mean clean one's cup before drink others' tea. Okay, so this is Zen. This is mind power, mindfulness. It means cleanse one's cup before drink others' tea. That's Zen. Now, there is nothing mysterious about this thing. It is not some kind of oriental mysticisms or some kinds of supernatural state or spiritual state. Forget about it. To say this, cleanse one's cup before drink others' tea, or mind power or mindfulness, to say in American way, like Stephen Covey has said, that is just seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood is mindfulness. Is cleanse one's cup before drinks others' tea. So don't get into all this mysticism and all those fantasy, spiritual or anything, while losing or do not understand what the ancient is talking about. The ancient is human like us. The ancient is not some kinds of ET or something like that. Okay? So if you want to talk about mind power, mindfulness, clean one's cup before drinking others' tea, I really encourage us in America, instead of using these words that people don't know what it is, and all these words, who know what the heck it is, just say in the American way. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Okay? That's simple. Make it everybody be able to do it. If you do this, for sure you have mindfulness, and for sure you have mind power. Or else one is jumping into jump gun on thing which is one thing one know but one don't know. Okay, those are problem in today's Chinese Qigong and Chinese martial arts, where it is vague and nobody know what it is. It sounds deep but it's empty. Okay, we want something it can work for us, not something which is we're going to wait forever, we just believe, and it is like the emperor's new dress. Now, ancient Wing Chun or the USA Wing Chun technology, it is like a car and its parts. A car have the engine, the steering, the electrics, the car body, exhaust system, brakes, transmission, suspension. It has all those details. And if one want to be able to build a car or drive a car for racing, one better know all this kind of stuff. Okay? So ancient Wing Chun, USA Wing Chun technology is beyond superficial mimicking. One cannot randomly borrow and mix different parts to make a function system. One cannot use a Mercedes-Benz part to put into a Honda and expecting to work, where one have no idea what is what. Okay? And there is a lot of details there. That's why you need to have handling on all these details. And that's why it is never this. Okay? It is this. There's a lot of details there. Look at their training in MMA. Okay? So, ancient Wing Chun or USA technology is like that. Make it really, really simple so everybody will understand. Ask the questions. I want to have this car. I want to be able to drive it. So how is this work? How is this car work? How is the car body? How is the steering? How is the engine? Ask every questions on what we don't know. Now, if we don't know that this is filled with all the details, then it is a time to seek first to understand, then to be understood. Go, let's study what is in the car. Instead of using this kind of mentality and jump gun into the car, where one completely no idea what it is. Okay? Now, my presentations is on the technology to implement the uniqueness of ancient Wing Chun. So the ancient Wing Chun or United States of America Wing Chun technology have a goal. The goal is to implement, to realize the uniqueness of ancient Wing Chun. So we know the uniqueness of the ancient Wing Chun here. The sticking body short strike. So there is a shoot in with penetrations. That is the sticking fighting, sticking and penetrate attack. So it can be analogy with the takedown of Jiu-Jitsu and the ground fighting of Jiu-Jitsu. Okay? So ancient Wing Chun martial art is not a collection of movement or technique which open to random interpretation. Uniqueness defines the purpose of a movement or a techniques. What I'm presenting is the technology, how one be able to develop the skill, or one be able to build this car, to own this car with details. Again, it is not this. One can watch all this movie, but one really don't know what is the uniqueness of Wing Chun. And there are many things contradict itself and many things is vague. So what we need to have a mindset of understanding. First, one need to know what is the uniqueness, and now we see the uniqueness here. And then we need to ask, what is the technology or the elements behind it, so that we be able to build this, and or what is the component here, element here, so that we can build this car, we can own it. Yes, everybody can own a car, okay? It is not about fantasy and not about keep waiting and never get there. One can own a car in days, in weeks, not waiting for a lifetime. So, often a question people ask me is on the Wing Chun Matrix books and the Resurrecting Wing Chun book. Are they the same book, just package it different? Or what is the content of every book? What is the difference? Well, the issue is most people think this way, and thus due to their lack of the training of this, one not be able to know the book is about all those details. Now, so let's look into it. First, we need to know that not all books having the same term and photos are the same thing. For example, this is physics books. This is a physics book, a college physics book. It talks about current, resistance, and electromotive force. You have the current, resistance, and all those direct current circuits and so forth. Well, this is a physics book. Okay? When you go to taking the electrical engineering classes, which is on top of your physics, when we study the electric circuit analysis, still here you see that there's resistance, inductance, capacitance, and it sounds like, it looked like, oh yeah, this is the same, okay? This is what is in the physics. Well, wrong. This is the basic. One study physics, this is the basic. So when one go to electrical engineering, this is just a review, an overview, and this is the what which is one need to learn. Okay? So one cannot jump into conclusion like, oh, this is talking about current, resistance, this is talking about resistance and current, and oh, they are the same book. Okay, physics book and the electrical circuit analysis book is the same. No, it's a different class, different book. This is a big picture, a basic, a brief introduction. This is getting the deep of electrical engineering. So we need to know that, okay? And not just saying, oh yeah, that they use the same term, so there's the same book. Well, when one do that, that means, again, one is either do not first seek to understand, or do not look at the details. So if the mindset is not this, one will have trouble to study engineering, because one will equivalent, okay, basic physics and whatever teach in the electrical circuit analysis class. Now, let's look into these two books. This two book is a very, very important book in this era. This two book is describing or presenting the parts, the elements to implement, to realize this. Okay? Without that two book, you don't have a skill, have the base to implement this. You will not be able to develop this. Okay? And again, this shoot-in, penetrations, and sticking fighting is not like in the movie. It's just terms. It is not. It means something. So, let's look into the Wing Chun matrix. This is the content, with the momentum is the core, mapping the ancient core into physics. The core of Wing Chun, the system, roadmap, the body awareness, physiological development, impulse momentum realization. This is all basic, and this is very important because now we map the ancient teaching into physics. Okay, it is not movie, it is not mysterious chi or energy. What energy, okay? It got nothing to do with that. It is really clear on mapping the ancient Wing Chun's technology into physics. Okay? So, for example, in the chapter 1, we are talking about different type of exchange of momentum. Okay, so as in here, it said that to further illustrate, since fighting is an exchange of momentum, and there are 4 fighting or momentum zones, the game of momentum action relies heavily on the ability to switch from one zone to another zone, and also skillful play within the particular zone for one's advantage. Okay, so this is a brief introductions. Okay, it tells what it is, but it did not get into the details. And now in the chapter 2, now you start to get into the details. Okay, the chapter 2, mapping the ancient core into physics. So, as presented in the previous chapter, from General Qi Ji Guang Fist Cannon to Shaolin Short Strike Cannon, fighting is a game of momentum play. The typical momentum handling can be summarized as the following: generate momentum or change in momentum, convert force to change in momentum. So you get into physics now, okay? So here with classical physics, these 5 types of momentum handling operation can be analyzed with impulse momentum theorem. So this is get into real physics, okay? So when one issue force, what is the physics? When one receive force, what is the physics? Okay? We get as far as bending of arm, control durations of collusion, thus control the magnitude of impulse of impact force. You got all of this. Okay? So that is in the chapter 2. You need this base in the science, not talking my belief, I think so, my grandmaster say so. It is physics. Only with physics one be able to perform here. Nobody care for who is our grandmaster or what the ancient Chinese believe. Okay? When it is a ring, it is physics, it is science. Now, then here have an introduction of the core of Wing Chun. Well, Wing Chun is belong to short strike, so that you have a common denominator. You know how it looks like. This is common denominator. And then it proceed on. One need to have a roadmap in order to develop the Wing Chun. Okay, so you have the body development, physiological state, your breathing, your bone marrow, and then your momentum handling. You have all sort of stuff. You need to have a map if you want to go somewhere. And of course, like in chapter 5, it said that Wing Chun practice Qi Sao. Well, in order to listen, one need to aware of one's physical body. That's what chapter 5 is. And then in order to perform, one need to develop one's physiological state, namely the breathing. Okay? Namely the breathing. For the traditional Chinese martial art, which play in the dynamic high-speed momentum exchange fighting, one need to develop body breathing platform. So in Wing Chun Matrix, it shows how we use the tools to develop that. So it is not like Xing Qi to Dan Tian and everybody talk about it, but you get 100 people will have their idea and their philosophy, but no one know exactly what is that, and no one be able to measure it scientifically. Wing Chun Matrix, you have to develop this. You need to be able to measure this thing if you have scientific device. Okay? So, without this, how can one have the stamina to play here? Okay? You may never see that over here. You don't need stamina. Why? Because it's just acting, movie. Okay? So, that is a big part of the Wing Chun matrix. And finally, it is about impulse momentum realization. In this physical world, the reality of fighting is the exchange of momentum or impulse. Thus, there are 4 criteria I foresee which govern the reality of martial art training. All these criteria, okay? So, when one lives in an unrealistic world and forced to face a well-trained, high-speed momentum player, it is predictable that it will be a disaster. So here in this chapter, one learn what is the reality. So that's about Wing Chun matrix, the basic. One see the roadmap, one know what is a scientific way to get things done, and one know the common denominator, and one know to develop the very important thing, your breathing. If one don't breathe, one die. If one cannot breathe properly, one cannot fight. Period. Okay? So that's Wing Chun matrix. Now, for the Wing Chun restriction, first is the multi-dimensional fighting arts, Shaolin Short Strike, Wing Chun 1850, training, momentum recycling. So from here, multi-dimensional fighting art, Shaolin, martial art, and Wing Chun. This all is showing by evidence how General Chi Chi Guang linked to Shaolin Short Strike, linked to Wing Chun 1850. Okay, it is not made up, it by evidence. And then it start talking about here, training, momentum, recycling. This again get into science. Okay, like the science, the sports science, and the scientific training today. That's why it is called the United States of America Wing Chun technology. It's based on evidence in the history, and it's based on science. Nobody can debunk this. One can see how tight the Chi Chi Guang's fighting arts linked to the Shaolin Short Strike and the Wing Chun 1850. Okay, so in the chapter 1 of the Chi Chi Guang, it further explains the 3 fighting strategy of General Chi Chi Guang, which is the upper strategy, which is a long fist momentum zone, mid strategy, which is a short strike and takedown momentum zone, low strategy, it is fighting carry out in the ground fighting momentum zone. So this is the multi-dimensional fighting art which exists in General Chi Chi Guang time. And here it shows that how the General Chi Chi Guang's teaching linked to the Shaolin by evidence. In here, in addition, the Shaolin Temple Short Strike Footwork section of Shaolin Short Strike Martial Art Classic is using the techniques of Chi Chi Guang Fist Cannon Essential Chapter. Okay, and here say, notice the change in range, angle, and level within the 4 techniques. Well, that link to the multi-dimensional fighting arts. Okay, with the Shaolin. Now you need to link those things, right? And then furthermore, when you get into the Shaolin Short Strike, which is the mother art of the Wing Chun, one need to know the core, the soul of it. It never is hand technique, Tan Bong Fuk, hand technique, or footwork, or the Yi power, Qi power, internal power. The bottom line of it is body and footwork pairing. The key elements of a short strike martial art is an agile mobility or momentum handling with the body pairing with footwork. The arm techniques are the subordinate element. Okay, that is the bottom line and so forth. And also the shoulder handling. Shoulder is a critical body part in short strike martial art. Okay, so there are details there. One need to know about the short strike of the Shaolin, which is carry over to the Wing Chun 1850, and also the Shaolin plum flower. Okay, so there are two type of range of footwork, which is range 1-2 footwork, how to get to your opponent, and range 2 footwork, which is sticking at your opponent. Okay, and here you see that both leg management method. Okay, you are managing his legs, and here is you're sticking at him, at the opponent. This opponent, this is you. How you angle it in? Well, if you want to have this uniqueness, one better know this. One better know this in details, and of course, one first need to have the body, footwork pairing, the shoulder handling, and then the breathing. Without that, there's no way one can do anything, because it is not movie. Okay? Now, so further on, it shows how Wing Chun is developed with its component, and how is 1850s Wing Chun have its technique like in details. This is about making room. When there is not enough room to make a strike, 1850s Wing Chun using pushing and hammering, or chang chui combination as shown in figure 3.1, all sort of stuff for making room for the strike, and also details on how the techniques perform before and complete. Look at the body. Now the body have shifted, all the details there, and that is the part from here, so that one have a clear view on what is going on and how to implement the uniqueness. Now it get into the training, momentum recycling, where we want to bring the entire thing to today's world. So you get to the chapter for the training. You have the functional training. Functional training or sport-specific training is a comprehensive strength training that directly contribute to improve activities of athletes' pursuit. Okay, so this get into today's modern sport training, and this is the multi-directional strength training, all using the tools. Okay, and then it get into the functional training and momentum, because you need to have the handling of momentum. You need to have the functional training, which is support your momentum. In order to handle momentum, short strike martial art specific functional training is needed. The details of how to handle the short strike martial art momentum as described in the above Shaolin martial art classic has to be incorporated with the functional training. And it go as far as even footwear. Footwear plays an important role in the momentum handling, because you need to know where to pivot the thing. Okay, there are many things there. And then finally you get into the momentum recycling. Well, if you want to flow, momentum recycling is the critical handling of dynamic momentum handling. Momentum recycling means to be able to reuse the generate momentum. Okay, and here there are non-momentum recycling movement. The three common, which it is these three common type of problematic movement are weakness open for the opponent to take advantage. So that is on the restricting Wing Chun. So it is a different thing. Even though here you talk about momentum and here you talk about momentum, but there are many things which is different. It's like we talk car, but it's not just a car. There are engine, there are transmissions. Engine and transmissions are different thing. And then you have an exhaust. You have a combustion system. They are different thing. Well, it is a car, right? This is just a car. We just use a car photo, but there's so many details inside there. So without all those, you will not be able to implement the uniqueness. So that's why they are different. They are different thing. So this can be looked at like the physics class, physics book. This can look at the electrical engineering book. Okay, those are different stuff. One better be careful. If one just read the terms, do not really understand the details, then one will not be able to know what is going on there. And if one be able to understand the details, read the details, one see a lot of things here. So practically the core of ancient Wing Chun is migrated, planned in America, okay, and be able to scientifically implement it. So that is the idea of the book, okay. Otherwise, you cannot have this uniqueness. So that's what it is. But one need to read on all details and understand every pieces before one go proceed. So one need really carefully not to make the mistake of, oh, this is the term here, this is another term here, so they are the same. No, they are different. Okay? Now, very important, seek first to understand. Read it and first seek to understand what is going on instead of jump gun, or else one will not be able to understand what is going on. And so even if the treasure, the jewels is put in front of us, we do not know what it is. Okay? For these two books, for this Wing Chun Matrix and Restricting Wing Chun, you can check in past 120, 140 years, there's no book to cover this thing so details. So this two book is the only book in past 140 years to show you what exactly is going on there. In the ancient people is not going to show you all this, because this is also called secret. Now, one thing we need to be really careful on the Wing Chun Plum Flower footwork. Like in the book, Restricting Wing Chun, this is a range 1-2 footwork. Okay, so it shows this figure 2.9a show the both leg management and then to shoot in. Well, this is how the show to the shoot in. Okay, so this is you, this is opponent, how you shoot in. This is the range 2 work. This means that you get close already. And it shows a frontal facing footwork. One move toward the side of the opponent's back leg and simultaneously attack. Well, so this show it. This you, this is opponent. This is opponent, this is you, how you can get in. That's why we need the tripod. We know the range. So this tripod is like this. This in the circle, the plum flower. Does stand over here, or we standing over here is like standing over here. This is the range to fight already. We know that. That's why it's very important to have the tripod. You see, this is the front leg, this is the back leg. So from here, if you look at this opponent's front leg, back leg, You look at the front leg, back leg. You can see how it's enter front leg, back leg to have a sense how close one's to the opponent. Okay, same thing about thing like this. How close one is in the opponent, meaning one get inside between the opponent's leg. You see that? Just get in beside between the opponent's leg. This is attack. Every attack is always penetrate his center axis. Look at that carefully. Okay. So in the real life, it's like Daniel helped me the other day on the movement 3D movement handling drill. You see how one has to get into the opponent, how the leg is here, how one really actually intercept or pressuring the opponent. So that is the plum flower footwork. Of course, in Wing Chun restriction, in the restriction Wing Chun book, there are many of this thing. Okay, many of this type of footwork. But you need a tripod to know how close. Okay, so this circle inside here is actually this tripod. Okay, so this circle here. Okay, this circle here, this opponent, this is the center axis. This is the center axis. So this is the center axis. So how is one going to pressurize with the body? Pressure the center axis with the body. No, not with your hand. Okay, with your body and your footwork. You see that this is just ram into the center already. Okay, which is this thing. It ram into the center. So if this is the center, okay. So this is the center. And you actually ram inside, ram across it, okay? Same thing with the here. Okay, so there are many of this in the restricting Wing Chun. There's plum flower footwork. So in real life, you get into here. Okay, how deep you want to get in, you want to control that. That is the bottom line of Wing Chun plum flower footwork. No, it is not this. It is not this. Standing up there, okay? It is not that. This is what the ancient mean. This is what the movie and whoever being creative with the term plum flower footwork, okay? Now, one thing I want to call your attention is over here, you always have this conduct, okay? And over here, it presenting the basic. It presents a little bit of conduct, but this one specifically you have on conduct. Why? Because if you want to have the true Zen way, real Shaolin, okay, Wing Chun is from Shaolin. One need to follow what body dharma do. Okay, take a snapshot of this, and then you can read about it. So, body dharma. Okay, this is dharma. This is body dharma. The Zen patriarch who brought the Buddha's teaching to China. He get beat up by a Chinese guy. Okay, so there's a Buddhist monk named Shen Guang, and this monk is a general. Okay, and so Shen Guang get very angry at the strange Indian monk who dare to disagree with him. So in anger, Shen Guang took the Buddhist malas, okay, or bead around his neck and hit Bodhidharma, who is the patriarch, the real grandmaster, okay, the disciple, the successor of the Buddha. The bed stuck Dharma, knocking out his front teeth and begin to bleeding. So Dharma gets stuck here, get beat here. Shen Guang expect a confrontation. Instead, Dharma smile, turn and walk away. That is the proper conduct of a Shaolin. It's not about talking with your hand, not talking with your mouth. Okay, so we don't want to be like in Shen Guang. You just go beat anybody up. But if you don't know, you don't know. Okay? You cannot brute force thing whatever you don't know, thinking that bully other people or brute force other people, then you know everything. So this is an example. The true Zen way is not the Zen way of keeping fighting here, fighting that, getting bullying, getting act like a bully or act like whatever violent people. Dharma smile, turn and walk away even he have broken tooth and he's bleeding. So that's very important on the conduct. In today's words, this is called professional. To be professional. Okay? You need to have the code of conduct to be a professional. It's not like somebody who's bullying others in the street or something like that. Okay? So, this is what I like to share with you. Hopefully that does clear up a lot of issue you have. Because many of our Wing Chun friends is asking many questions and I have to solve with them one by one individually. Now I share with you, this is the general question people get confused with. And now you have a solution. Everybody be able to understand what's going on.